FARO permitirá a realização de um prospecto relativo a um roteiro pela arquitetura dissonante em Lousada. Uma vez que aqui se encontra um maior número de edifícios com tal carga simbólica, será dada especial atenção à vila e sede do concelho. Lousada tirou o maior partido enquanto parceiro do projeto FARO, pois permitiu encontrar na arquitetura dissonante um denominador comum para um conjunto de construções públicas e privadas que até aqui apenas individualmente tinham relevo no desenho urbano da vila.
So, say hello. Hello.
Well, yes, I think a comparison on a European level is a really useful tool for all the people working in dissonance. The project has involved municipalities of Stej from Romania, Nova Gorica from Slovenia, Dimitrov from Bulgaria, Škoda from Albania, Poet Pietrovski from Poland, and Lousada from Portugal. And putting together these dissonant heritages, all the different experiences, has been enormously successful and interesting, I think. Partly because every city is different and has different dissonances, but there is a sort of sense of an underlying similarity. And so there's a terrain for comparison, and it's very useful in that way to put things which are similar together with things which are also slightly different. The focus, of course, has been on 20th century dissonant heritage, the dissonant heritage of regimes in particular, but more and more things like colonial heritage and environmental heritage are coming to the fore. So also I think it helps the cities compare themselves on a European level with other sorts of dissonances. And ATRA in particular is working both with the Council of Europe, because it's the Council of Europe cultural route, and with the Urban Agenda Cultural Heritage Partnership on dissonant heritage. So we have also a wider area in which we can compare the things which we're doing. So I think it's certainly a useful starting point for any discussion of dissonance and any discussion of the way that dissonance can be used also as a sort of lever for development on a local level.
I'm from Poland, a place with very difficult past. It was really surprised that so many places with dissonance heritage in Europe. Being the FARO project, we touched this topic in many ways. Visit Forli, Lusada, Carbonia, Shkodra, Dimitrovgrad. I realized that every this place is unique, different and so unexpected that we can learn a lot to have so many perspectives of dissonance heritage. The most interesting, very intense and very deep was a place in Albania. Now it's a museum, in the past was prison. The place stopped my breathing, surprised me so much, shake of me. This feelings was with me a long time after visit. So it's very important to keep this place for people, for new generation, to remember what happened. No judging, for better future. The FARO project protect this history kind of way to allow it for reflection and in the same time let the process growing of the community.
Could be even made a different way. Can you make a useful product, tourist product, from the Dissonant heritage stories or Dissonant heritage monuments or whatever? Of course you can. And you can even make it very efficiently, because you go straight to the heart of the things that people are interested in. So we are speaking about feelings. You try to present the feelings of the place to the people maybe who had some relations to it, or maybe they don't know anything about it, or maybe they've been afraid of asking all their life. So the thing for sure is very interesting also from a touristic point of view.
Greetings everyone, my name is Gerardo and I represent the municipality of Shkodër in the FARO project. I started to take part in the FARO project from September of last year, and so far I have visited Dimitrovgrad, Piotrków Trybunalski in Poland, Nova Gorica in Slovenia, and now I'm honored to take part in the final and concluding activity of the FARO project in Stej, Romania. Firstly, what struck me in this project was Dimitrovgrad, the first city I visited. What struck me in Dimitrovgrad was the Soviet era architecture, particularly the Stalin Baroque styled buildings, and secondly, the large green parks such as the park Peño-Penev. The second city I visited in the FARO project was the Polish city, Piotrków Trybunalski. In this city, I saw that there was a mixed culture between the Gothic style, the Renaissance style, and the Soviet era architecture, and also the modern design buildings. The city's diverse architecture was reflected also its rich history, and the number of cemeteries which were spread around the city showed also the presence of the dissonant heritage. As for the city of Nova Gorica, there was also a mix of the socialist architecture and the post-modernist style buildings. They struck me in particular with their forms and shapes, and also the Casino Hotel, which represented one of the main dissonant heritage in the city. And lastly, in the city of Stej, what struck me most was the mixture between the socialist architecture, the local traditional Romanian-styled houses with timber and wood, and also the administrative buildings, as was in the center of the city, which during the time of communism was used as a building of coordination between the military service and the people to extract uranium. Another thing which struck me was the Palace of Culture. Inside of it, I could see a lot of similarities with another building in my hometown in Shkodër with Mijeni Theater, since both of these buildings were built by Soviet architects and Soviet workers. Thank you very much.
The international networking allowed us to have a new perspective about the things to do in order to improve our heritage recovery. Moreover, it gave us new ideas to work on. Indeed, we are now submitting a new project called Rifugiamo about the restoration of our heritage, which has been conceived after visiting the other partner towns. And this project made us clear that Carbonia can give life to its controversial architectural heritage only developing solutions based on the active involvement of citizens. The collective path of reflection about the historical and architectural identity has required a long process involving the entire community. The reevaluation of our heritage is an important challenge that Carbonia is still facing.
As one of the topics we were discussing, commenting, talking about was the good practices, the exchange of good practices, I would like to stress on a couple which proved to be very resultative with good results and giving a lot of success implementing our ideas concerning the Dissonant heritage. First of all, I would like to stress on the application of the scientific approach, due to the big capacity of the Atrium Association, its scientific committee. This scientific approach gives a lot in respect of involvement of scientists, researchers to make the studies of this heritage, find similarities, find resemblance, find the origin of the way this heritage has been created and affected. And moreover, here I would like also to add the very good idea and the good practice by several participants, members and partners of the project, the involvement of young researchers, students, who do really great job. The other thing in respect of the good practices is the involvement of the stakeholders. This is also something very important because it gives an added value to our efforts to maintain, support and reconstruct whenever and wherever we can, because this is just an extra support, not only in respect of funding, but also as idea giving new life to this heritage. Something else very important I would like to say is this open talking about the dissonance of the heritage, which changes the attitude of the population towards the heritage, towards what we have. In this respect, the attitude of the presentation of the heritage has already changed. It is only a positive one, even I could say with pride. And last but not least, I want to mention the good practice of the direct involvement of the population in respect of management of this heritage. A very good example in this aspect was given by our colleagues from Piotrków Trybunalski. People are directly involved, how to manage it, what exactly is most valuable for them, and as this is our heritage, their opinion is very important for all of us. So this is in respect of the good practices we were talking about, commenting and sharing good and bad practices.